Ooh. Surface temperatures at the moment in the mid-90s, somewhere between 87 and 95 degrees.
So many people don't think that climate change is real.
While I was literally about to bring this child into the world, I was thinking, what will the summers be like for her in the future?
The Australian dream, where you had your acre block and your own house, could become Australia's nightmare.
I know we've caused the problems, and I know we also hold the key to the solutions.
This is what climate change looks like, ladies and gentlemen.
It just was extremely hot and everyone was starting to get worried day by day until it happened.
Temperatures will climb well into the 40s, making conditions even worse on our fire grounds.
The footage that I took of the fire was shot on the GoPro that I had actually got for Christmas 5 days before the event.
It was on a very hot day to begin with, so that made the fire, I think, a lot more aggressive.
In the afternoon, I got the first glimpse of the fire coming over one of the mountains in front of us.
It's so much smokier over there.
It then started behind our house, and I was just standing up there thinking, shit, this is happening. Need to get off the roof now and start fighting.
Whoa, kangaroo! Okay, coming this way. Should I get the other pump going? What can I do?
The fire was just too intense and out of my control.
Dad!
And if India had been in earshot at the time, I was wanting her to get into that fire shelter and just give up. It's over. We've done the best we can.
Oh no.
It did get really intense, and I thought we were going to lose the house, but it just calmed down for a second and the fire kept going up the mountain.
Imagine this is going to be like this, for a long way down the road.
Oh yeah.
It has completely and utterly changed the landscape here for the rest of my life, if not forever. As far as any of the tall trees, mostly all of them have been wiped out.
We're right still in the middle of this heat wave, certainly as we head into the Christmas period.
What happens when you wake at 5:30 and don't sleep in your own bed? Look, what's in your senses. Look. So there's very strong evidence, irrefutable evidence in fact, that the climate of Australia has changed, especially over the last 50 to 70 years. All about Bluey. Colouring books. I specialise in heat waves. So I study how heat waves have changed over time and what's causing those changes.
Oh look, your own fairy wand and your own bag.
Some people think that we're boffins, and we're not actually real people. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old daughter. It really bothers me that the world that they're experiencing now is a lot different to my childhood.
Oh, you also got a bluey water bottle.
I've experienced days of 45 and 47 degrees Celsius, and that was appalling. It was atrocious. You couldn't do anything. The only way we could stay cool in Western Sydney was to have the aircon running all day, and that was a really hard thing for me to do. During my first pregnancy, it was so hot that I actually struggled to go and put the washing on the line. And while I was literally about to bring this child into the world, I was thinking, what will the summers be like for her in the future?
What happened when you don't have a
It was the hottest day ever recorded in the Sydney Basin. Incredibly, the mercury rising to almost 49 degrees.
Because population increase in Sydney is continuing, it's spreading out west. The Australian dream, where you had your half-acre or acre block and your own house, this Australian dream could become basically Australia's nightmare. You need a car to actually get from your house to work, because we're also not providing work where you live. You have to commute. Also, there are no shops. People living indoors, I mean, you don't see anyone outside. I don't see any kids playing outside. They even put black roofs on top of these houses, and then they built them so close together that you have no more space left to actually put trees in, which is crazy when you think of the next 20 or 30 years where we know it's getting just hotter out there. In Australia, we're producing our energy to the large proportion by burning fossil fuels, meaning we're producing more CO2 by having all these air conditioning units running high flat out. But there could be simple changes made, and these changes relate to materials. One of the projects where we are demonstrating change is the Cool Roads Trail. Let's take the heat stress trackers, put them out in this cool street, and collect some measurements on this stinking hot day. This yellow concrete is only at about 60 degrees, so nearly 10 degrees cooler than the asphalt just out on the road, which measured at about 70 to 72 degrees. It's quite interesting. They removed all the bitumen, and you can see the different surface materials, bringing in the verges, planting more trees. So I think it's a great idea.
It's a very hot day today in Wollongong, so we are boiling and I'm wearing barely any clothes. Yeah, we're just going to the mall.
Everyone is in the shopping centre trying to get free aircon.
You're not allowed in there, Ted. Out the fridge.
I just twist down these trees to give these bats some water. I don't know what to do, honestly, because they're suffering in this heat. And they've gone further up in the tree, but this one died. And we've had many that have died.
So when it comes to flying foxes, 42 is sort of life, the universe, and everything. Beyond 42 degrees, mortality increases substantially.
This is what climate change looks like, ladies and gentlemen.
In November 2018, up to 1/3 of the entire Australian spectacled flying fox population just died in a matter of 2 days. It's 2 hot afternoons, just like that. So over the last few years, we've begun installing sprinklers in flying fox camps in the hope that they can prevent some of the worst of the mortality.
An international report has Australia last when it comes to policies that protect the climate, trailing countries like Russia, Iran and China.
If he said we were doing better than anyone else. He must have looked at the table upside down.
Our goal is to reach net zero emissions as soon as possible, and preferably by 2050.
The girls' playroom, that's still a bomb site, so maybe I just shouldn't even bother unpacking. I'll probably look like that most of the time anyway. We're not going to reduce our emissions to make 2 degrees warming by the end of this century. I know that we're probably going to reach 3 or 4 degrees, and I know what that means for how many more heat waves we're going to see and how much hotter those heat waves will be. Sweetheart, you're meant to be unpacking, not packing. As a scientist, I know how bad the future looks. I understand all that, I comprehend all that, that's what I do for a living. It might be the other way around, sweetheart. I think I'll be using this desk and Daddy will be using this desk. But as a mum, as a person, I guess, as a human being, I really struggle with just how bad those impacts will be.
I'm worried for my future. I'm worried that this house won't be here in another 5 years. And I'm worried that no one really cares enough to do anything.
So, what plants do you think we should plant in our backyard, in our new house? Strawberries. You want strawberries? Our brand new house is going to be awesome because we're going to make it energy efficient. We're going to have lots of solar panels and a white roof and lots of insulation, and it's going to be oriented the right way, and an adapter to charge an electric car when we can buy it. I know we've caused the problems, and I know we also hold the key to the solutions. What else do you like to eat that you think we can grow in our yard?
How about some apples?
Oh, Mummy likes apples.